I mean, it's like I interviewed Gavin Newsom on my podcast some years ago, and he was telling me that, the homeless issue was the biggest issue ever for him. That was he was like the number one homeless issue guy. That's about 9 years ago now.
Yeah. Worked
And
out great so
it
far.
worked out great. And I told him, well, the biggest problem with homelessness, which was almost a decade ago, I said it's junkies and people with mental situations. It's either mental problems or people that are on drugs or both. And then he proceeded to explain to me the real picture of homelessness. And I'll quote him here: was a mother of three whose husband left, who had a full-time job, but she was only getting paid minimum wage. And then I then told him that is not the picture of homelessness. The picture of homelessness is junkies who are out of their mind. That's all we got. Now, he never came back on the show. But the point is this, as an example. I could have agreed with him, except for
Right.
I knew he was 100% wrong. And I could have worked out a situation where me and Gavin Newsom became pretty good friends by me telling him something that I knew was patently false. But then why be a comedian? And who are you? And then what do you stand for? And I don't even know what you stand for. It's like I said a bunch of stuff around COVID. It got a lot of people very angry. It became
You and
true.
Drew, for sure.
Yeah, me and Dr. Drew, for sure. Now, got us pushed further out from whatever the Hollywood nucleus was. Okay, I could, I wrote a tweet over 2 years ago, and it said, I'll paraphrase, but basically, COVID kills old people and it kills sick people, and the rest of you just got played. And who's getting played next time? Because that's the way I looked at the whole
And
thing.
who's getting played next time is a really important question.
Yeah, because I want to be prepared for the next one. Because first off, I don't like the way any of you reacted to this. We shut down schools and beaches and outdoor dining, and you went right along with it and started enforcing it.
Yeah.
We should have never done it. There should have been a rebellion. But anyway, I I sent that tweet out. Got a lot of people real super angry, really angry, and like Newsweek and stuff like that. And Judd Apatow, who's a friend and who's a really good dude, he called me and he said, "You got to take that tweet down because people are pissed." And I was like, "Can't do it. It's up today. It's been up for 2 years, whatever, however many months. I never touch it. I never took it down. I would never take it down. I would say I'm wrong if I was wrong about it, but that's what happened. Old people and sick people died, and the rest of every 22-year-old dude who doesn't have a pre-existing condition got played.
Right.
So that's my opinion. I think
My son was in school in the fall of 2020, so but I'm in Texas.
right. So I'm in LA and they closed every school and
Yeah.
it hurt the kids. And I said it would hurt the kids. And then the LA Unified School District started clapping at me, and I was like, you guys are idiots. You're hurting kids. You're cowards. Go back to work. Stop being a coward. You're either lying or you're cowards or whatever. Go get to work. The guys at the Trader Joe's are working. Go to school, go teach your kids. And they started coming after me. And I was like, look, A, what I'm saying is accurate. And then B, you're hurting kids. And then C, everyone is telling me to shut up. I'm like, I don't know what you want to do or who you think I am or historically. And by the way, all they did is applaud every person historically. They did Rosa Parks was told to ride in the back of the bus, but she didn't. She didn't. It's like, guess where all you are? You're in the back of the bus
Right.
right now.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what
that's
you
right.
guys just did with COVID. You all just ran to the back of the bus. So I felt like I had to tell people like over and over again. Like they were like, they want to know what was wrong with me. I was like, listen, I know all you guys think Trump is the man. Trump is not the man. Gavin Newsom is the man, and Gavin Newsom shut your beaches, shut your schools, shut your playgrounds, and ruined your small businesses. So if you got a beef, go find Gavin Newsom, you idiots. Don't talk to me. And I've just that's just how I am. And then
Yeah.
people are like, don't talk about this and don't talk about that. And I'm like, I'll talk about anything I want as long as it's accurate. I don't want to dispense false information, but just because you think it's false doesn't mean it's false. And then also, I vetted all this. Now, if it takes you 2 years to come around on who's dying from COVID, that's on you. I do a lot of interviews and people are like, we didn't know anything back then. We didn't, because I would always make fun of everyone. Like,
Yeah.
you shut the beaches, you shut the schools, you shut the playgrounds. We didn't know. I said two things. How come I knew? Number one. Number two, if you didn't know, how about you shut the fuck up? If you don't know, the stuff I don't know about, I don't talk about it. So then
It's a
you
good
don't
point.
know, don't make policy if you don't know. So, I got a lot of crap and like kind of pushed further out from wherever that was. But
Although you're
I
saying like
really
you were
have
pushed
choice.
further out from, say, Hollywood or entertainment, but I do feel like this has gone way beyond that, right? It's like the people coming at you on Twitter, they're all over the place. And the stuff that's happening when you went around on college campuses with no safe spaces, that's like students from all walks of life, more or less, that are getting triggered by you being yourself. I think there's something really interesting about the role of comedians in this moment we're in, right? You're the last hope and like the canary in the coal mine for where the society heads, I feel like. How do you think about that? Cuz it's weird. It's like you're like, I'm just a guy. Don't take me seriously necessarily. But
Well, I believe everything I say, and I believe everything I joke about too. So, when comedians go, "Oh, that was just a joke," they meant it. They mean it. They always mean it. You should always be offended or not offended, but don't let them go, "I was just making a joke." They meant it, you
so
know.
the Jon Stewart shtick on Daily Show, like I'm a court jester. That's all sort of a head fake.
Hey, whether it's him or Dave Chappelle or me or whomever, we mean it. I'm not talking about Larry the Cable Guy, but most comedians, you'll know what they're thinking by what they're saying, and they kind of mean it. And the guys on the right think how they think, the guys on the left think how they think. And the thing about comedians is the reason the left kind of goes berserk about like Dave Chappelle is because the left has their kind of taste makers. They have their Obamas and LeBron James and whoever the taste makers are, and they get to kind of set the tone for society.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you took something like, back to COVID, you took something like COVID. I mean, you could only imagine if LeBron James was going, "Don't wear a mask. That's a waste of time. There's nothing that's going to save you, and schools should be open." And, Barack and Michelle Obama were saying the same thing. And Bill Gates was saying that, and Oprah was saying that. Like, you would have lost complete control of the narrative, like, immediately. Like, Washington would have had to cave if Tom Hanks and Oprah and Bill Gates and everyone was saying, you know, look, if you're young and you're healthy, you're not at risk. You should go outside, or like if
Go
you're
be like Sweden.
if you're like a 12-year-old
Yeah.
male and you're healthy, I wouldn't get vaxxed. They would lose it. So they kind of rely on the culture, and comedians really push the culture. And when a guy like Dave Chappelle starts saying stuff that's not in lockstep with their cultural movement, they they go crazy, right? Like, that's why they go crazy on Chappelle. It's not really him making a trans joke. It's like, "Hey, buddy, you're one of us. We're on the, you tell me the nuanced differences between what LeBron James thinks and Oprah thinks and Bill Gates thinks. I mean, climate, there's one of them that they're on lockstep. Like, how would they possibly be lockstep on every facet of COVID? Something we knew nothing, a novel virus that nobody knew anything Right. How'd you guys
Yeah.
all get on the same page? How did all of Hollywood get on the same page and about an answer of we didn't know anything at the time? Well, how did everyone get on the same page? Well, they don't want to be penalized. And so
Yeah,
when a
there's this
guy,
really embarrassing in retrospect video, which is kind of funnily executed with Paul Rudd. It's like, I'm a certified young person, and my bro Andrew Cuomo's here to tell you about how you need to wear a mask. And you
right,
watch it now, and
it's all
just
cringeworthy. And it's
it's
10
just
minutes old.
awful.
I know. I always retweet that stuff. And then everyone says to me, leave these people alone. And I go, are you kidding? No way. This must be documented and they must be served up their crow. They have to. And so comedians are people that need to be kind of controlled because they're out making the narratives and pushing things. And like you could remember, I remember when like Jon Stewart went on Stephen Colbert's show and he like went, oh, I think the virus came from the lamb. Like, you see, Colbert's face was like, John, no, that's not our.
Yeah, he said something like, "You weren't you? What are you, senator or something? I forget, some
Right. He
Republican
was
senator."
like, but really what he was saying is you got to read the playbook. We got a script here. You just went off script. And it's dangerous for people to go off script. And comedians traditionally would go off script. They do it less and less now because they'd like to remain under the tent of Hollywood. But some of the ones that have enough FU money, Chappelle or Joe Rogan or whatever, those are the guys who don't care because they have their own. They don't need the next part in the next movie.
If you like this clip, you should check out the full video and all the other great content we've got at Dad Saves America. So be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that bell so you won't miss our new stuff as it drops each week.